Welcome back to a new topic in Egyptian civilization that would be about political conditions of Egyptian civilization. Initially, or in the beginning, or early Egypt people settled into villages. The villages developed into towns, later into cities, and developed furthermore as city-states in the later times. They were ruled by kings. This is known as pre-dynastic period. These kings were engaged in inter-city-state quarrels. So, Egypt was ruled by kings. These kings are always engaged in fighting with each other. A city king will fight with another city-state king. Always these fights led to destruction of one another and the combining of one another and emergency of a big civilization or the empire. Different dynasties that ruled this kingdom. About 30 dynasties have ruled Egypt for more than 3,000 years. But no dynasty survived for more than 6 to 7 generations. Each dynasty survived for hardly 6 to 7 generations only. So, 30 dynasties that ruled Egypt for more than 3,000 years. The entire Egyptian politics rule or dynastic rule of 3,000 years and 30 dynasties can be divided into 3 parts. The first part would be the pyramids of Old Kingdom, and the second is pyramid of Middle Kingdom, and the pyramid or the period of New Kingdom. Let us know something about the period of Old Kingdom. It is also known as a period of pyramids. The Old Kingdom, the period of Old Kingdom is also known as period of pyramids. Why it is called as period of pyramids? The pharaohs of this period were very strong. There was a council of elders to advise the king, whose advice was not binding on the king, which means the king is an absolute power and he can do according to his will and wish. But he has a group of ministers to advise. He can over or supersede their advice to and do whatever he wants. He is called as Pharaoh. The king is called as Pharaoh. He appointed his prime minister named as Vizier, V-I-Z-I-R. The prime minister headed all kinds of administration of justice and treasury. He was assisted by central and local officers. The prime minister is assisted by central and local officers in the administration. The local officers collected the taxes in this age and looked after the law and order, whereas the central officers maintained the records and the accounts of all the revenue collected in detail. This is about the pyramid of Old Kingdom. Next one, pyramid of Middle Kingdom. It is known as feudal lords or period of feudal lords. Middle Kingdom, period of Middle Kingdom is known as period of feudal lords. Why it is called as the period of feudal lords. During this period, the feudal lords became more powerful than pharaohs. Feudal lords who were below Pharaoh, who were in charge of the land as well as the vassals of the king Pharaoh, they revolted against the Pharaoh and combined themselves to fight against Pharaoh. Therefore, during this period, feudal lords became more powerful than pharaohs. This led to many internal wars. This war led to anarchy. The authority of Pharaoh was restored once again by a Pharaoh named Hammon-Hotep. Hammon-Hotep first was the first Pharaoh restored the power once again back to the Pharaoh's hands from the feudal lords. So the period moved from the Middle Age kingdom to a period of new kingdom. The period of new kingdom, the third one. During the new kingdom, the kings became more powerful by raising a powerful army. The pharaohs became once again powerful by raising a powerful army and built a strong empire. Thutmose first conquered the new territories and expanded the empire. The pharaoh named Thutmose first conquered the new territories and expanded the empire. His daughter, remember, 1 mark question that comes to you for the main exams, Hatshepsut, H-A-T, she, S-H-E, P-S-U-T, H-A-T, S-H-E, P-S-U-T, Hatshepsut succeeded Thutmose first. She is her daughter, his daughter, She is the first woman to rise to such a height of the world. It is said she is the first empress of the world. The father was emperor and she succeeded her father as an empress, and she ruled Egypt. And the first lady to rule on this earth as an empress is in her name in Egypt as well as in the entire world. Her name is Hatshepsut. She is the first empress of this world. She ruled for 21 years. After that, if you see little more about the Egyptian kings or rulers were called pharaohs. Pharaohs. You have seen just now the picture on the right is the pharaohs. They believed that they are the representatives of God on earth. Where is God? In the heaven. This God cannot be on this earth, therefore they are the representative of gods on earth. So on earth, pharaohs are gods because they are sent by God himself and they are God themselves. Hence, they enjoyed considerable powers, unlimited powers in the administration. Pharaoh Menes united the south and the north Egypt in around 3000 BC and made Memphis as his capital. M-E-M-P-H-I-S, Memphis as his capital. You see on the right the administration of the entire Egyptian civilization, which speaks also about Egyptian society. Egypt had a well-organized society. There was 3 classes: upper class, middle class, and the slaves. You can see on the bottom of it. On the top comes the Pharaoh. Top, already we spoke about the Pharaoh who enjoyed unlimited power. The institution of Pharaoh was strong, that he had legitimate control over the state as well as on the religion. The second is the nobles, the officials, the priests, and the military officers who lived in adorned or beautiful villas. Villas are big palaces like, and led life of comfort and luxury. These military officials, priests, and nobles who led a beautiful and enjoying life. In the middle, there is a physicians, scribes, craftsmen, merchants, and farmers who were on the second strata of the society. And the lower class are the slaves who formed the last strata or the base of the society. They lived very hard and toiling life. They have to work throughout the year as well as the day to serve others and lead the life. The life of Egyptian women is interesting. In the world, they had enjoyed a high and unexceptionally high status because Hatshepsut is the best example. That is why Egyptians civilization gives a credit of being ruled by a first woman empress, Hatshepsut. But incestuous marriages were common among the royal classes. That is, the pharaohs would marry their own sisters or their own younger daughters as well as sisters to prevent the property, because women had equal right in property. If they do not marry, the property will fall into the hands of the enemy as well as the power will fall into the hands of outsiders. This incestuous marriages very much prevalent in royal family. This was also aimed at also to maintain the purity of blood in their royal family itself. Thus, we end the social life. Little bit we discuss about the central powers of the government. The strong and central government with absolute monarchy, a well-controlled administration, and a strict implementation of laws were basic features of Egyptian political policy. 1. The strong central government with absolute monarchy, means a high, unlimited, powerful monarchy, and well-controlled administration. Why is called as well-controlled? Because strictly laws have been implemented. Whatever the pharaoh makes, laws are implemented immediately. This is the basic feature of Egyptian administrative policy. As the time passed, rulers became more powerful. They fortified their kingdoms and they raised the military powers and built huge armies to control the people as well as to safeguard their kingdom. The king became despotic and powerful. Despotic means he controls everything. Powerful in all the aspects of kingdom's affair. He is the champion of the kingdom. With this, we end the political condition of Egyptians.